We've also got the test window, of course, coming up in June. So back to Springbok matches very soon. What are the sevens doing right that the 15s are doing wrong? I mean, given their amazing run of form, I think it's the first time they've won the World Series since 2008 or
yes, 2009, I think it might be. Yeah.
So just an amazing season for them, and just a really tight-knit, well-oiled unit, the Blitzboks.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows what consistency can do. Neil Powell has gradually assembled a pretty formidable squad, a very settled squad, which is something that was anything but for the Springboks last year. We know how players were winning caps willy-nilly in that very chaotic 2016 season, and of course that meant that there was no continuity, no sort of team culture, no sort of proper team bonding, and that's one thing that the Blitzboks have done. You could see what a joyous bunch they were as they celebrated in Paris, winning that title. They really looked like a team, and all the neutral commentators, the television commentators, were saying this team richly deserves it. There's no questioning that they were the best side. They made so far they made 8 of the 9 finals. I think Singapore was the only blip. We were a little bit worried at the start of the weekend when they lost that first pool game to Scotland. But then, of course, that was almost a perfect scenario, because I think I could have told you from the moment we lost that game that if we had to play Scotland again, I think our record against them was something like 36-5 overall in sevens matches played over the years. So that tells you that South Africa have generally got their number, and that Lightning wasn't going to strike twice in the final. South Africa played well enough in that final, despite the Scottish bravery, to get the job done fairly comfortably. So, I mean, it was a delightful way to sort of end the weekend, and just something for South African sports fans generally to latch onto as a sort of beacon of pride, because we don't have too many of those at the moment.
And of course, sevens is a very different animal to the 15-man game, but they do seem to really be the perfect example of transforming a team that's been transformed, and like I mentioned earlier, just a real sense of togetherness, and playing for each other. Great structures, great defense, great attack, just a very well balanced side.
Yeah, I think what you'll see now is that there will be automatically some of these sevens players are going to increasingly start to sort of interest Super Rugby franchises, for instance. We know that South Africa is losing a lot of its depth of quality 15s players to the overseas market. So some of the better, especially some of the attacking, really good sort of skilled, visionary sort of attack players in that Blitzboks side are going to be sort of lured towards 15s. You can see how already Kwagga Smith, I mean, he made all the difference with almost like a sevens breakout from deep, and a spectacular try to clinch the game against the Brumbies. A vital win for the Lions in an otherwise sort of really grinding, ugly game in Canberra. So in comes one of your sevens guys, and he played really well at open side flank, scored the breakaway try that won the game. You've got Siabelo Senatlo, of course, now fit again, apparently, ready to show the Stormers what he's worth in the 15s code. And I suspect you might see that this team slowly starts to disintegrate. Maybe that's a bit of an extreme word, but that Neil Powell will eventually have to start doing a little bit of a rebuild, because I think some of those sevens players will be lured gradually. More players will be lured towards 15s, which some people would see as a shame. But you want to build we've got to get the 15s base strong again. That's still got to be the main sort of priority in South African rugby, I would think.